Greetings, community. It's Kevin, Events Being Comics, and as you can see, I got kind of a small project going on. It's not going to stop me from doing what we're about to do. I have no idea where I'm at. Uh, First of all, as always, dude, appreciate you being here. Happy holidays. Hope you're well. Um, Seriously, man, you the best. You're definitely an amazing guy, dude. I appreciate you. Let me jump into this. I know you already saw this, but I'm gonna run right through it because I got boxes everywhere. I'm figuring out life here, and it's just like, yeah, I'm sure you know how it is. I'm gonna start off with this guy. The reason why, dude, I got the raddest deal in the world. It's a 1/100. I don't know how it slipped through the fingers of the people that sold it to me for as cheap as they did, but I was willing to get it. I do have one. I paid a little bit less than half ratio. But this one was stupidly cheap, and yeah, I'm glad I got to receive it. So this is what I'm going to be very careful. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm gonna start out with indies. So hey, Dead Mall. This is what happens when kids go into a mall and they're not supposed to, and they're meeting things they're not supposed to, and it turns out to be a great read. Siren's Gate. This is what happens when Shannon Mayer decides that he's going to write and do the art. And there you have it. There you be. I recommend it. Um, yeah, from you to me. Anyways, bam. This is some art and a half. The writing's okay too. The story is well enough to where you want to keep reading. Ding 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 ding. Hey Christina, just know that something got sent out to you. Um, Could give you tracking, but why? Make it a mystery. It's fun that way. Appreciate you sharing this. Forever forward. This is what happens when you want to go back to the time that you started from. You have to go forward in time to go back to the time of your origin. Yeah. Story by Zach Kaplan, and I love it. It's really a great, fun read. Something that's both entertaining and exhilarating in the side of the adventure side of it. You're always on the edge of getting obliterated, and it makes a very fun read. Now, here's something that will bring a smile to your face and a little stink to your nose. It's called Bonier the Aromatic. Story of a girl whose BO is so bad, that's her weapon of choice, essentially. And she takes out everything from zombies to wizards and witches, and it's very original in the storytelling. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is a Saturday special style. And then the models after the same storyline that they were throwing back to, what was that, 89? When they were launching them at Toys R Us type places. Story I used to read to my younger brother, and I had to grab it, and I'm finding it a very enjoyable read. Moving on from that, we're going to go over to Gargoyles. Gargoyles brings me also back in time. If you're not familiar with the original Gargoyles story for the early mid 90s, you don't have to be. They bring you right up to speed really quick within the first few pages. And also another tweeny style story. Anybody of any age can read it. Definitely recommend it for anybody, any tween. And cool story. Grimm, issue number 6. So this is an FOC variant. So I ended up getting like 1 and 2. And well, I mean, come on, you guys know me. So there's a story of a girl who ends up dying. She ends up inheriting the Grimm powers, meaning these people have to go out and retrieve the dead and bring them back to the land of the dead. However, this doesn't quite work out as a modeled version of what's supposed to transpire when this person dies. She ends up having the ability to be able to go back and forth, both from the land of the living and the dead. That in itself is kind of interesting. At the same point, the reasoning why behind all this is happening is quite deeper, and the story is really, really enjoyable. So I do recommend Grimm. All right, so we're going to go with 4, 3. I already did in 2 and 1. Stuff Nightmares is an interesting read. The cool thing about it is also it's It's R.L. Stein's version of the Reanimator story. So it's a little bit less and a little bit more all the way around. A little bit more for more people, a little bit less gore at the same point. So it hits you just as hard. I really been finding this enjoyable as far as a horror and gore read, because it's just not all about the shock. It's all about the momentum in the story at large, and the way it transpires is really cool. And you feel bad and you feel good, and yeah, there's a lot of mixed feelings in this. All right, we're gonna move out that, and we're gonna go Little Monsters. Here's another one when you go ahead and you take. Whoa, hey, appreciate you being here. Happy holidays. Hope all has been well with you. This is a story of when you go ahead and humanize vampires. When you take a vampire, and vampire is in the body of a child, and has been living in this child's body for over 100 years, and they're questioning now the reasoning behind they've been living this style of living and away from basically everyone else in the secure position of being in the city. Again, after 100 years, of questioning why are we still here waiting for others to come back who we know more than likely won't. And so you're starting to see some inner turmoil, a lot of questioning. It's a pretty neat read when you want to go ahead and reflect on some of the questions that we have our own, how should I say, when we confine ourselves in our own mentality or social upbringings, and or the way we decide that we want to go ahead and live our lives. All in that little book, believe it or not. All right, we're going to move out from that. We're going to go ahead and get into Batman Spawn. Now, the neat thing about this book cover in particular is you had to order over 250 copies to go ahead and qualify. And even then, you still had to buy them. I think they're going for a minimum of $10, but I was seeing them going for 20. I don't know. I had to get two. And then I had to get a regular acetate. Did I say regular acetate? Cool thing is hey, look, if you look, you see that? Just like one staple there and one staple there. That's it. Yeah. Two staples. I'll just let that one just sit there. All right, moving up from that, we're going to go ahead and Batman Spawn cover. This is issue 130 of Batman. I liked it so much I got two, but I end up flipping it. So close. Still a cool cover, gotta admit, right? Yo, bro, how's it go? Happy holidays. Hope you're well. Been a little bit. Just going over the massive pre-order that I got. You're gonna go through a whole month's worth, so I mean, bear with me. Hang out, grab a drink. All right, hey, look, that Wildstorm issue number 1. This is a cover I don't know. You tell me. Did I get the right cover? Seriously. So Wildstorm, I'm digging the fact that they're coming back. Lee, I love the fact that you're integrating it into the whole DC universe. Keep doing it. I'm going to keep buying it. Issue number 2, Spawn version. Had to get it, obviously. And then we got a cover A. Cover A's are a must. Got to have something to read. So moving up from Wildcats, we go to Punchline. All right, now Punchline is really making her own little way. Some people love her, some people hate her, some people are still indifferent. Kind of like what I remember when Harley first came about. She wasn't super well received. Not as well received as this character. I like this character. Nothing against Harley at all. Still buying that stuff. I like this character. Somebody keep in it. Yeah, it's like a 6-issue miniseries. Monkey Prince. Now, out of all the DC books that I've been getting, this one brings a smile and a half. This is probably the most enjoyable read, probably the best new book coming out of DC by far as something that can be a long-term winner. Seriously, out of everything, and even as much as I've been talking about Punchline, Monkey Prince. Awesomeness. All right, Batman and Joker Deadly Duel. This is what happens when you Mark Silvestri go ahead and take helm of a story and an art. Got to see Mark the first time after, it was like after 29 years, he and I were hanging out again. And it was like, it was funny because the first time I hung out with him, we sat and talked for over an hour. And then the next time I saw him, which was released for Cyberforce, which was the last time I saw him, We hung out and rapped for about a good 15 minutes before, line, stuff like that was building up. And just catching up and stuff. So to be able to do the same thing again, it was 29 years. We after 10 minutes, I was looking at the line. I told him, like, dude, I gotta go. I feel really bad. Everyone said, he's like, can you come back? No, I got. You know what? When you rap with artists and creators sometimes and you really hit it off, it's so cool because you just have a million questions. And once they answer one, you have a million more. And it's fun when they go ahead and entertain them. Cool people. So yeah, I also got a sketch cover. Actually, I got two, I think. I hope to see him again. I got to get some more stuff signed. But I got my Cyber Force and all that. All that. Yeah, got a bunch of cool stuff done. All right, moving on. Sorry. The Joker, Man Who Stopped Laughing. First two issues were cool. I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, there's a lot of Joker. There's a lot of Batman stuff out there. I agree. Some is better than others. I agree. I've been enjoying what I just showed you. As you see, I'm not super huge. I'm buying every single one, but I've been lucky enough the ones that I've been buying, I've been enjoying. Moving on from there, we're going to go over to Doctor Strange, Fall Sunrise. This is Chad Moore's way of writing and art. And the cool thing that I really enjoy about this is it kind of I'm old, takes me back to when I was reading some of the Kirby stuff, and it was kind of, I'm still young, and he was relatively later into the game. Then I remember people talking about his early stuff and how it was just hard for most people to get through, in the sense of just how psychedelic and wild it was out there. It challenged a lot of contemporary ways of doing art, and when it came to comics were concerned, I liked it. To me, Trad is kind of on that same place where he's challenging the stereotypes of what people conceive what to be acceptable, not acceptable, or marketable as far as a comic is concerned. And I like that because, come on, this is really cool stuff. This is some of the stuff that why we kind of some of us got into comics, is because it was so often a field and challenging some of the art, and in the sense of storyline, the articulation and verbiage that is used inside of a lot of the storyline massively increases a person's vocabulary. And this is just a visual way of almost essentially doing the same, in my opinion. Moving on from there and getting way too deep. Strange Academy Finals. This is the second version, kind of volume, a takeoff from the original Strange Academy. I am a huge fan. Always have been, always will be. Now we're getting deeper into the relationships of the actual students and how they've been split and now trying to come back together, and how that's changed each individual student, even on a physical form. Come on. And along with that, how it's changed the school and what is going on within that, as far as some of the students and some of the deals they made with the whole concept behind this is the battle with Gasland. If this ever goes away, I'm really going to be sad. If they don't integrate these students or integrate them into the bigger universe of Marvel, I'll be even sadder. Just keep it going, please. I like this Marvel. I really am. Moving on from there, we're going to go over to Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is all the stuff that's in this issue number 15. And I'm kind of going backwards because I'm going to show you issue number 14. Is that this is all the Dark Web stuff. Now, this is a saga that I've been talking about months ago, and I've been massively looking forward to. I'm a little behind, being that I don't get my stuff for a month out. However, that doesn't take away at all from me enjoying this stuff. So, yeah, I got a decent deal on these sides. Hey, if you can get a design cover cheap, get them. That's my recommendation. If you're already going to buy the book, then you got to get a cover right. I am a fan of Hallows Eve. Why? Well, the whole Ben Reilly and where it's going. Some people are so locked on to a traditional idea of what a particular character is supposed to be. In the case of Ben Reilly, going against the grain of not being a hero and now a villain. I don't mind that if it's a good story. Who knows where it's going to go? Stay there. as a villain. I don't care. Or in the case of, Hallows Eve and the whole blessing of now the girlfriend is now this villain. I dig it. If you're going to keep giving me a good story, I'm going to keep reading. If it goes against what I traditionally think of what a character is supposed to be or what I've fallen in love with initially as a character, all right. So now you pissed me off and I'm reading it now because I'm angry. Good marketing. And I'm reading it because it's a good story. All right. You got me twice. I'm not seeing a flaw. I think that's why I keep buying this stuff. So am I angry? Nope. Am I digging it? Yep. Am I keep buying it? I think so. Deadly Spider-Man, Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is the whole thing, if I recall, where we're talking about Spider-Man cruising over to LA, and that's another kind of psychedelic trip. What's going on in there kind of left me at the end going, okay, I need issue 2 to try to get some semblance of what's going on because I have no idea. I'm trying to piece it together. Figure by issue 3 they might explain enough to be able to have some concept of really what's going on. Dark web. That's what I'm saying. Telling you, darky web. I'm digging it. I can, and I know it's going over to the Venom world, so I'm just, this is a saga I was looking forward to. All right, here we go. Spider-Man issue number 3. Got a variant, got an A. I'm liking what Slott's doing with this stuff. I know we're getting a lot of Spider-Man. It's kind of that saturation that most people talk about when we talk about like Batman and Joker. Usually Superman and Spider-Man and Venom, they all get kind of thrown in there. I get it. However, it goes back to what I was saying before. You give me a good story, I'm just going to keep reading it. All right, moving on from there. Dark Web, Mary Jane, Black Cat. I am a huge Black Cat fan. I've also found, and I made mention of this before, I like female-led characters. Strong female-led characters. And Black Cat to me is one of them. If this is the way they're going to give it to me, this is the way I'm going to read it. Black Cat is a very enjoyable read, has been for the past 3 years. Unfortunately, it hasn't been able to remain on a consistent level of being able to write and release monthly. And through no fault of the writer, that I know of the publisher, I'm just not certain if enough people are buying it. I am. Gold Goblin, issue number 2. Got a couple of these. A few of these. Obviously, I like this cover. And I kind of specking. Didn't quite hit that I know of. I know there was supposed to be something happening, but you win some, you read some. All right, Marvel Origins of Marvel Comics. This is 4 stories in one. Now I don't have the money to buy all the original 4 stories in the original formatting, but I'll take it in this format. Square bound, 4 stories, all of which are pre-1970, that I recall, and give us basically a lot of the foundations of the present Marvel universe. Good buy. It's a great buy for like under $8. You get 4 stories. It's $2 a story. Kidding me? Ghost Rider issue number 9. Ghost Rider has been solid for all of us Ghost Rider fans. This Percy version is an awesome representation of what I believe Ghost Rider is supposed to entail and supposed to be as far as the storyline is concerned. There we go. Miracle Man Silver Age. Welcome back, Mr. Neil Gaiman. Loved it so much, I had to buy issue number 2. And I was curious to see, how you're writing in the Marvel way. You know what I mean? In the sense of I know it goes a little bit against your grain. And this is not the normal Neil we see. Hulk issue number 10. I did read this already, and I love this cover, so I got 2. I'm liking the whole Hulk thing. I know it's a love or hate with most people on this volume, but I've been digging it. I like Starship Hulk. Thor issue number 29. This is what happens when we go ahead and talk about in this issue and then issue after a little bit of what transpired in issue number 6 and a setup basically what's going to end up happening after issue number 31 when Donny Cates comes back. I'm curious. I want to see more of of that ominous prediction. Oh yeah, if you got questions, you can see that I'm in the midst of like cleaning stuff, so that's kind of also why I'm kind of running through things. Boy, do I have books like everywhere, like everywhere. All right, so hey, Genghis Vale issue number 5. If you were to hit me up and put a gun to my head and ask me what the first 4 issues were, I don't know what's going on. I know I read them. I had to. I know I had to. This is bothering me because I can't tell you anything about it. Does anyone else have that same problem? Seriously, type in the comments if you do, because I have no idea. I know I had to. There's no way I'm going to just buy issue number like 1 and 5. That's not me. All right, moving on from that. Space Cadet stupidity. Midnight Suns issue number 3. This is initially a concept of what they were doing when they go ahead and build a comic based off of the video game. It was almost like a promo thing. We've seen this happen before. Usually a book like this isn't fun to read. This has been. I also like a lot of the design stuff that they're doing, that they give you for the video games. Gives you an idea of kind of some of the, how should I say, the ideas that they're going to end up putting in the game. So when you do play, you already have some of the ideas of the concepts that they're already going to give. And if you study enough, they usually release a little hints, sometimes even codes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, backwards. Strange issue 8. Strange issue 9. It's strange that issue 8 came after 9, but that's what accidentally happened. Now we see that Strange is kind of almost back. We know how he's going to return, meaning what is required. So I have a belief by, I don't know, the next 3 issues, hopefully he'll make his transition back to our world, because I am waiting for his return anxiously. Seriously, I've been enjoying this read as far. Don't get me wrong. It was weird not having Strange around. Miles Morales. Now this is the graffiti version. You're going to get at least 3, issue 1, 2, and 3 of the graffiti versions. From what I've been reading, as far as numbers, I didn't see a whole lot of numbers ordered on issue number 2. Graffiti. Issue number 3 is pretty solid so far as graffiti, but yeah, I don't know what happened. So I don't know if people are going to be looking for issue number 2 as far as the graffiti art variant is concerned down the road, because it was under ordered. Just keep that in the head. Just saying. And thank you, Christina. I appreciate you as always. I had to get a blank version. I do know a lot of artists. It's just too cheap to get anything done at this point. 'Tis the season, you know how I mean? This is a great peach version. Look at that. Is that art or what? And then a cover A. Did I read this so far? Yes, I did. I already got 2 of the cover A's now. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I have. This is, I believe, the 3rd volume, and yeah, it's a great setup as far as what they're doing with Miles and bringing him back out in the real world, of what he does best, I should say. And yeah, he all different kind of sly remarks, all different kind of approaches. I almost like, I don't know, maybe it's just a writing style. Miles better than regular Spider-Man. Did I just say that out loud? All right, here we go. Indie versions. Boogeyman issue number 3 and issue number 4. The idea, premise behind, summary of this thing is where we're at right here, up to issue number 3, is a boogeyman has taken this child under his wing to protect him from another boogeyman. And now we're seeing that the whole boogeyman, like society, there's a whole group, breed of things out there. Yeah, they're all after him now for protecting this kid. I don't know why he's doing it. I would love to see this as an ongoing series, because I'd like to know more about these breed of people. It's almost like the story of Grimm to me, and I could make that an ongoing easily and thoroughly enjoy that. All right, we got Shock Shop issue number 4. The cool thing about this is all the way through you get 2 stories. What you do is you read halfway through, flip it over on the other side, and read. Of course, you're not going to read a blank page, but you know what I'm stating. You know what I'm stating? All right, Night of the Ghoul, issue number 3. This is the final issue. This tells us what's going on, meaning, is this all some type of psychosis this guy has got going through? Or, I mean, is it real? Or, I don't know, it feels real, and it's creepy. So I've been really enjoying it. Noctera, believe me, this Val special is nothing more than a filler for the ongoing series that Crew's back in. Though we didn't get a little in-depth on her, other than the kind of introduction. I'm looking forward to getting into this just so I can go ahead and, I guess, re-wet my whistle for the ongoing series coming up. Radiant Pink, issue number 1. Now this not only is art by Kubert, but I met Flores and I was talking to her, and I know Emma Kubert's style as far as art. So between the two, I was really looking forward to getting this. I couldn't wait. I not only bought a couple of issues of this, I guess it's been almost a month ago, but I already have a couple of issues signed. So yeah, I had to have something I didn't know all that was going to happen. So there was a pre-order 5 weeks ago. Actually, I'm sorry, 10 weeks ago, pre-order 5 weeks ago is basically when that came out. All right. Once Upon a Time, The End of the World, Glow in the Dark version. Yeah. This is just as cool as I thought it would be. And it's all textured. Even the rain and everything, you can feel it. So I believe that's probably what, but I don't know. I got to charge these things up and see what they do when they're underneath them. Anything? Anything? Oh, it looks like the blade and the arms and all the metal. All the metal on the cover. It looks like it glows. I don't know if you guys. Anyways, moving on. Look, I have not got to I did get to look at the ash can stuff. I do have that. I didn't want to hurt it, so I just kind of put it back. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. Blush. This I have read. Oh my God. Plush is the third version of the writing from Wagner. And what it is the first version was plastic, second version was vinyl, and third version was plush. Not related in any way that I know of. At the same point, oh my God, there's so much similarities. This is a story of a guy goes to a plush convention to kind of break from the reality. He's going in. He's not having a good time. He's not feeling well. He goes where he thinks to be is towards the bathroom, goes into a back room where he ends up seeing a bunch of plushies eating a person and a couple of people. I don't know. So you get a weird idea that some of the plushies are not plushies. They're actually like demony things. And then it looks like they ensnare humans, much like this innocent victim, to do some bidding for them. Start luring regular people, and oh yeah, no. All I got was issue number 1, and I'm like, yeah, I'm issue number 2 looks savory. Cannibal talk. Dun, 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 dun. And it's rare that I say dumb jokes like that. Dun, 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 dun. Briar, issue number 2. This is what happens when Sleeping Beauty is in just a fabled nightmare. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Issue number 1. I'm in for the long haul. So there we go with issue number 2. Philadelphia. From day 1, this has been a great read, and it keeps ramping up to get better and better and better. Keep doing as good of a job that you're doing, Mr. Rodney Barnes, and I'll keep buying it. The world that you're building is getting massive, and so is the books that I'm buying from you. So speaking of massive and books I've been buying, Artist Elite, which few people talk about, I've been buying all four covers every time they come out with a new issue. Here's issue number 5. So we go with, I think that's cover A. I think that's a C. I would say it's probably at least a D, right? Yeah, probably. Let's call that cover D or cups. And then there's a C. I don't know. Maybe those are double Ds. And then, yeah. So I've been enjoying these stories. I just wish now at this point we go ahead and start releasing these things as an individual, meaning don't give me 4 stories in one book anymore. Let's go ahead, break off, and give me something that, 32 pages, please. We're 5 issues deep now. I know you're like halfway through a few stories. Godzilla. This is definitely an all ages book. I like the premise, the fact that it always is an environmental tale. So every time you see a new monster comes out, it's usually something to do with the environment, and they're cool stories. I'm gonna keep buying every Godzilla book they put out. Department of Truth. This was, to me, this was one of those Tanyan stories that aided him and put it. He was always on a map, but really made him a name on everyone's tongue. And this is a story that it's definitely a what if, but it's a what if that's carried on. I know he's going to come out with another UFO-y type thing. Blue Book is going to be coming out in about 3 months, and it's more of that conspiracy theory stuff. But what if you supported a conspiracy theory enough to where you developed it and manifested it? That's definitely what Department of Truth is all about. Our root from the makers and developers of the ice cream man, you get something that's just as disturbing and odd. Art of Brood is a story of kind of a detective police enforcer for when art goes awry. I don't know. It's after just a little bit of conceptual piece that I saw when I saw the Mona Lisa wink. That was enough for me to go ahead and buy into the story. So I think it's a 5-issue mini. I'm definitely all in. Halloween, if you guys are friends of metal people, then you know probably of this band. There was a power metal band back in the mid 80s that was doing some conceptual storylines in their lyrical content and in kind of the music itself. Halloween is that band. And this is a take on that Keeper of the Seven Keys album that they did back in, I guess it was around 88, 89. I really enjoyed issue number 1. So 3-issue mini, definitely getting all 3. There's an image anthology, issue number 8. There's 12 issues in this series. I'm definitely getting all 12. I've really been finding some of these stories so interesting that I'm hoping that they develop them in the long term. Yeah. And it's taking up you get that square bound book and you get 12, you end up with a sack of it's like yeah. It's a stack. Dark Ride, issue number 3. I'm getting all 3 covers. So A, B, and C in it. This is a wild ride, Dark Ride. It's you go ahead and you make the deal with the devil to go ahead to build a theme park modeled after hell. That is the premise behind Dark Ride. So far, we are understanding that there's some problems within the family, to say the least, and there's also a little bit of financial problems that are happening actually at the park itself. So we're seeing some marketing ideas, and we're seeing some scheming, and we're seeing a lot of people dying in some pretty horrific ways. I love Dark Ride, and I believe also is another 6-issue mini. Golden Rage, I think this is issue number 5, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, issue number 5. There's when undesirable women are no longer, or when women are deemed undesirable, these women are thrown onto an island to fend for themselves. They develop their own society, and the writing has been really enjoyable. Moreover than that, it's kind of a reflection of our own society, or how it's another Lord of the Flies, but instead of children, with older women. So I really, I mean, in a psychological way, it's been an interesting journey, just to see how one individual thinks a group of women would react in such a scenario. When I believe finishes it out. This is another tiny story that most people are not really talking much about, but I've enjoyed since day one. It's definitely a tween story, and a story that challenges a lot of concepts and ideas of what Tynion has been known for writing, meaning there's a lot of heart in here. There's stuff that talks about society and gender choices, things like that. And it's been interesting how he's been tying these creatures into how this world is really massive, and the fact that he's been able to break it up in the way he did. I'm hoping for an ending that is just as good as the whole story has been so far, because this journey for me has been really enjoyable. I'm hoping for a great ending. So I believe that to be issue number 5. I believe it to be the final issue of that. All right, Nightclub. I've spoke about this on a Specky thing. So one, it's only $1.99. Two, what happens when 3 17-year-olds get bit by vampires? Do they prey on innocent people or become superheroes? That was a choice that they had to make, and this is the story that tells that choice. I'm looking forward to getting in there. I've been talking about it for a while, so I have not got to read it. Oz, The Return of the Wicked Witch, Part 2. I thought the art was really cool, Part 1. Story was all right, enough to want to read it again. So, yeah, a lot of pinup stuff. True Cult. Yeah, when an idiot working at a fast food restaurant rips off the wrong people, and then he's tasked to go ahead and murder the head of a satanic occult group. Yeah, that's True Cult. This has been really, really gnarly as far as a person way out of league trying to do something that's not them. A wannabe James Bond, he is. A real James Bond, he isn't. Berserker, issue number 11. Let's go ahead and call it what most people do. That penultimate comic. So we're talking about issue number 11 being the second to the last version of Berserker. I think it was original enough to keep me going. I've heard some people complain that there's been breaks in the story and all that. Things happen. I've been able to keep a pretty clear head of what it's about. And as you heard me before, I've complained about a couple of books in here not being able to do so, meaning I totally forgot what they're about. That has not been the case with Berserker. It's been making a well enough impression on me that I've been able to recall the storyline well enough to every time I get to the next issue, it's there. Moving on from Berserker, we're going to I spoke about before. That's right. Emma Kubert does the art on this, joining with the writing of Frank Miller. And this is a very fantasy-based story that I'm looking forward to get into. Emma tends to write books, tend to be like all ages or tween-based, and I tend to enjoy it. Ink blot tend to be the most notable for me. So to get into Pandora, I'm really looking forward to it. Speaking of the Frank Miller Presents, we get into Ancient Enemies, issue number 1. I know nothing of this other than what I got in my ash can. So I'm looking forward to getting a little bit deeper into this because I think that was the one I was really digging. And then we get Book of Ronin, issue number 2. This was another one I liked. I did, on the ash can, I did read this and I did enjoy it. So I did get to. And we're getting close, people. I appreciate you hanging out with me. We're right there. We are right there. All right. Where's the furthest place from here? All right. So this is issue number 9. This, where we're at now, is totally different from where we started. This initially was based on like music and kids and holding on to, a pastime that was, long gone. And where we're at now is not, I'm enjoying the ride, but where we started and where we end up is totally two different places. Kind of like in life, I guess. You don't jump in a car and expect to go right back home. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, wow, this has been a journey. All right, here we go. Vanish, issue number 3 and 4. So I did enjoy the issue number 2 well enough to keep going. I'm going to go all the way through this. It's interesting because I'm not vested in any of this other than the fact that it's just been entertaining. I'm not, none of the characters make me dying, to read this or any of that, but I don't know. It's there. It's stereotypical Cates, what I expect of him. And as far as the art, it's stereotypical Stegman that I expect of him. So it's not bad. I guess it's just meeting expectations. That's sad. Uh, Quite the different. Junkyard Joe. Now, out of the pages of Geiger comes this storyline. And this, in my opinion, is actually challenging the story of Geiger in the sense of how well Geiger was written. Now, don't get me wrong, Geiger was very well written. This, this is tugging on a lot of stuff, a lot of heartstrings, a lot of emotions. There's a lot of stuff that I'm sure people that have been in the military would appreciate and how it's depicted. Very enjoyable. Junkyard Joe, I believe, is also going to be a minimum of 6 issues. I don't see it stopping as far as how well it's being written. And maybe he'll just keep going on, maybe 10 or 12. So all we can do is hope. Hey, there we go. And I think we got 2 of these. Ja! Heaven's Rejects. Now, this is another one that it brings a very big smile to my face. Issue number 3 and issue number 4. 3 angels that didn't quite make it in boot camp are rejected from heaven and have to make it here on heaven. They become like vigilantes, and they're trying to do, what's right. So it doesn't always work out. That's the story of Heaven's Rejects. And again, I've been reading books that have kind of more of late, even there's a lot here, and I only got 2 left. That either are horror based or put a huge smile on my face. I like turning a page and just laughing my ass off. And if it's over something as fun as something like this, or the vigilante story, just trying to get, actually more of this is a vengeance story, because her family was killed in front of her, so she is out to seek vengeance. Or in a case of like this is a better example. Sweetie Candy Vigilante puts a big, sweet smile on my face. It's ridiculous. It's fun. And it just keeps getting better as far as making me laugh more and more. Now that is it from me, Entropy. I want to go ahead and take a moment and just shout everybody out. Comics by the Bay, I appreciate you dropping by. The Crucis is always, man. Dude, you sit through this like hours of just me going through books over books over books. I want you to have a healthy and happy New Year. Roscoe, dude, you're the best. I want you guys to have a great holiday. Christina, like I said, you got some stuff going to you. Kai and I have yet to open up our envelope. We want to soon. I appreciate you. I just wanted to know you guys are awesome. You stay well. And that's it for me. Entropy.